Day after a difficult couple of days on Capitol Hill in both the House and the Senate for Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, she is being replaced. Senator Markwayne Mullin is now going to take over her job. The president making the announcement on Truth Social just a short time ago. He writes, quote, "I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st of this year. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, which is a new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere that they're announcing on Saturday at Doral in Florida. The president says, "I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland." So this comes amid reports that the president was none too pleased about the advertising campaign money that came to light during these hearings, Sandra. And so just in the last 24 hours, we've heard a lot of rumors that Markwayne Mullin may be tapped for DHS, and now it appears the president has made that decision, and that's going to happen at the end of the month.
Yeah, there was some reporting leading up to this that this could be the case. No confirmation had been made by the president himself until now, but there was reports of frustration inside the White House over some of the actions taken on the part of Kristi Noem. Looking at the announcement, though, and looking at the touting President Trump does of Markwayne Mullin's record, 10 years in the U.S. House of Representatives, 3 in the Senate. The president says he's done a tremendous job with the people of Oklahoma. As the president pointed out, somewhere he did very well. So obviously this is breaking news just now. President Trump making the formal announcement that that DHS Secretary Kristi Noem will be replaced, John.
Will, and also the president taking note of Markwayne Mullin's status as a former undefeated professional MMA fighter, also the only Native American in the Senate. Let's bring in Jackie Heinrich. She's at the White House. The timing of this, I guess, was a little bit of a surprise. We didn't expect it quite this soon, but it was certainly expected.
Well, you know, John, this president has been reluctant to shuffle his staff since really early in his second term when he moved National Security Advisor Mike Waltz over to Ambassador of the UN. Since then, he's kept all of his folks sort of in position, weathered whatever criticism comes their way. And Kristi Noem, the DHS Secretary, has faced a turbulent period in the last few weeks. Amid the fallout, the response to the ICE deportation campaign in Minnesota, some public statements that she made, and then most recently this week, her testimony on Capitol Hill, there were reports that her defense of her campaign, her ad campaign, $200 million in spending that prominently featured her sometimes on horseback, claiming that the president, according to these reports, had approved of that, reportedly upset him. He wasn't happy about giving the impression that he had sort of authorized that amid this broader administration effort to root out fraud. So she's being moved now into another role. The Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, a new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere that they're announcing on Saturday. The president's been, defensive of Kristi Noem for the last several weeks as she's faced questions about her ability to carry out her duties. He regularly pointed to the success closing the southern border, the fact that there have been no illegal immigrants caught and released into the interior of the U.S. for several months, the fact that overdoses and murders are at historic lows, and pointed to those successes to sort of boost her up and defend keeping her in place. But it seems like that testimony on Capitol Hill might have been a turning point. There were also some reports that FEMA funding that was stalled suddenly came through after questioning. And so this is a rapid development, of course, and something we didn't expect until potentially after the midterms. This is a strange time for the president to make that major of a shakeup. But there was, sort of the writing on the wall after he elevated Tom Homan, his border czar, to take a more prominent role in the ICE deportation campaign. It's well reported that there's been a long-standing rift between Homan and Noem about how this should be handled, sort of the
Breaking news report. In a significant political development, Kristi Noem is reportedly no longer serving in her role at the Department of Homeland Security. According to statements circulating publicly, President Donald Trump allegedly dismissed Noem following testimony connected to a $200 million advertising campaign. The details surrounding the testimony and the nature of the disagreement have not been independently verified within the information provided. However, the claim suggests that tensions arose after Noem's remarks during proceedings related to the ad campaign. The advertising campaign in question has been described by critics as controversial, though specific details regarding its scope, funding structure, or intended purpose have not been outlined in the information currently available. It has been referred to by some as a $200 million ad campaign, but further official documentation or confirmation has not been cited in the material provided. Reports circulating online allege that President Trump took issue with Noem's testimony, with some sources characterizing her remarks as an attempt to distance herself from the administration's position. These characterizations remain allegations, and no formal transcript or official statement has been referenced here to substantiate those claims. In the wake of Noem's reported departure, Senator Markwayne Mullin is said to be stepping forward to assume leadership at the Department of Homeland Security. No formal confirmation documents or official appointment announcements are included in the information provided, and therefore this development should be understood as based solely on the claims outlined in the source material. Senator Mullin has been publicly associated with strong border security positions and policies aligned with what supporters describe as the America First agenda. Commentary accompanying the announcement calls on Mullin to remain firm on mass deportation policies, reflecting ongoing national debates about immigration enforcement and border security. Immigration policy continues to be one of the most divisive and closely watched issues in American politics. Proposals related to deportation enforcement, border controls, and federal authority regularly generate significant public response across the political spectrum. Any leadership change at the Department of Homeland Security would likely have implications for the direction and implementation of these policies. At this stage, the claims regarding Noem's dismissal, the circumstances surrounding her testimony, and Senator Mullin's appointment are presented as reported statements. No official press release, sworn statement, or federal documentation has been referenced within the material provided. As with any developing political story, further confirmation from official government channels would be necessary to fully verify these developments. Updates may follow as more information becomes available. This remains a developing situation.